Conference League against Copenhagen, so they are ready for the next round. And after the game, the big story. Giovani Quenda is closing in on a move to Chelsea Football Club. Who is Giovani Quenda for those who maybe don't know or don't follow football on a daily basis? Giovani Quenda is one of the best wingers in the world, in terms of talents, of course, in terms of potential. He can become a superstar one day. That's what people in the industry feel for a long time. He's already been part of the Portuguese national team. He's a regular part of Sporting squad, a player very well known by Ruben Amorim, and this is why Manchester United have been in talks, in discussions for Giovani Quenda for weeks in terms of starting conversations to understand.
Welcome back to the Done Deal Show. A big bomb dropped by Fabrizio Romano. Quenda to Chelsea. We've seen it already. You may have seen it on socials that the here we go is in. Giovani Quenda to Chelsea. Deal agreed for the Portuguese young superstar. Medical done for Quenda after a secret blitz. He will join Chelsea in 2026. Club-to-club agreement complete with Sporting, and Quenda said yes to Chelsea's project and Enzo Maresca's plans. And of course, this comes as a bitter blow to United fans that were excited of the prospect of this young man. And I'm not going to do a U-turn on that. I think Chelsea have signed a tremendous talent. I feel that Chelsea have signed a potential superstar of the future. Now, how he's nurtured, how he develops, how he progresses in the years to come remains to be seen. But we cannot deny the quality. I have seen some Chelsea fans online frustrated. Another youngster, more youngsters stockpiling. Why are we not buying more experienced players? And I understand that. And should this summer go ahead and complete, and Chelsea don't really add any 25, 26, 27-year-olds, any stars to this team, I can understand the element and the frustration. But in the isolation of this deal, this is tremendous business. I, as a Man United fan, wanted him. And I am very, very gutted indeed that we didn't get it done. Very, very gutted indeed we couldn't get it over the line. But some of the details that have come out are very interesting. Man United, according to Fabrizio Romano, wanted Giovani Quenda to join United immediately this summer. He was considered an important part of the conversation for Ruben Amorim. He's a player we wanted. We cannot deny this rejection, and it's painful. But the reason why this has happened is quite simple. And I'm not angry at Ineos. I'm not angry at Amorim. I'm not angry at Vavell or Barada. I'm not going to take it out on Chelsea and start being bitter. Chelsea have offered a deal where they're paying the money that Sporting wanted. I think we would have got there as well. But they have offered a season-long loan. So the player at 17, 18 years of age gets to stay at Sporting. They get him for another year. He gets the first-team exposure and more experience in challenging for league titles, which you would expect them to do again. Being in the Champions League, again, he gets that game-time experience. But Sporting get to keep him for a year. Man United don't have that luxury. We can't offer Sporting the same deal. We can't do it. Whoever we sign this summer has to come in and join the club. And I'm talking any substantial signing. 25s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s. We can't be spending that amount of money on a player, but saying you can come in a year's time. And this is the benefits of the situation Chelsea are in compared to Man United. They're 3 seasons into their club rebuild. We're 1 season in. We had a terrible start due to sticking with Ten Hag and not implementing this new style. This is where we're going to pay for those mistakes. So I'm not overly angry. I'm not frustrated. I understand why this has happened, but it's a fantastic deal for Chelsea. Fair play to them. I think, look, no one knows how a 17, 18-year-old is going to develop. We can all guess and have a prediction. Based on his talent, based on his ability, there is a very, very good football player here. So congratulations to Chelsea. I'd love to get your views and opinions on this. Make sure you are hitting the like button below. Up next, we're talking Arsenal and a massive potential move for a big Newcastle star. Before we go any further, a big shout out to Stocks FC. I love this fantasy football game, and you know I play it regularly. I play it weekly. I'm always talking about it, posting about it. And I want you to come and join me. It's as simple and as straightforward as that. Scan that QR code there. Claim your free stocks. Get that done. Start building out your portfolio. And there are some amazing opportunities at the moment. And one of them actually links into a transfer story that we're talking about today. But one of them is this, Joshua Zirkzee. Joshua Zirkzee, 30 cents, very, very cheap stocks coming out. Do put really back in. Well, you can see already there's 2 days left to go of his IPO sale. And nearly 8,000 of his stocks have already sold. And remember, this isn't like fantasy football that you play for free online. Once you buy the stock in the player, it's yours. There's around 40,000 available. Whatever doesn't get sold gets thrown away, and that's it. The people that buy the stock now, you own it forever until you decide to sell it. You can earn off the cash rewards off these players. You can either sell these stocks in players to other users of the platform later on down the line as they grow. And that actually brings me into one of our big transfer stories today. As you can see, Bruno Guimarães here. Again, I think he's cheap. I think he's cheap at 73 cents a share here. He really, really is. But why is this significant? Because of a big transfer story surrounding him that we're going to jump into now. But hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. That's all great. But go and check out Stocks FC right now. An amazing fantasy football platform for you and your friends to play and earn a little bit of money along the way as well. Now, Bruno Guimarães to Arsenal. Could this happen this summer? Could it be a deal that the Gunners get over the line? Well, there's a big story from South America that says that Andrea Berta wants to sign Bruno Guimarães as well as Martin Zubimendi as his first choice decision as Arsenal's sporting director. Newcastle have an agreement to let Bruno Guimarães leave for around 60 million if they do not qualify for the Champions League this season. Now, these would be the types of moves that would get Arsenal fans off their seats, that would send a message that they are being serious. And by the way, I think Zubimendi is available for somewhere in the region of 40 to 50 million. I haven't gone back and looked at the articles. If there was a way, and by the way, Newcastle have a good chance of Champions League football with the top 5 places being confirmed due to the coefficient scoring of the English teams. So if that happens, the price is going to be well in the 100 millions. You may find that Newcastle say, we're not going to sell him. There will also be competition at 60 million, probably from the likes of Manchester City. So this will not be, by any stretch of imagination, a foregone conclusion for Arsenal. But at £60 million, it's a no-brainer. And if you add Zubimendi, Bruno Guimarães to the midfield, you probably then see Jorginho and Thomas Partey move on to pastures new. But a midfield three, a midfield three that consists of 4 of your main players being Odegaard, Declan Rice, Bruno Guimarães, and Zubimendi is a fantastic midfield. It truly is. Now, as I've stated already, there'll be a lot of cynics that will be already doing the safe prophecy bets of, we ain't signing all of these players. Well, of course not. It's unlikely. And that isn't because Arsenal are not serious. It's because other teams are involved. Look at the story of Quenda. Everybody expected Man United to get the deal done, but Chelsea found a way of structuring a deal with Sporting that Man United simply can't do right now due to our necessity of bringing players in instantly. This can happen in many which ways, involving all types of football clubs. The article doesn't state that Arsenal are going to get it done. It looks like they are going to be attempting to do it. Another factor to throw in is, should Newcastle make the Champions League, it's unlikely this deal will get done. But it feels at this point, when you read the articles and the stories in more detail, Arsenal are looking to advance these talks. They're doing the background work now. Berta is busy, although he hasn't officially started. You'll probably find he's, like everyone does at top level of all industry, he's keeping a few plates spinning. He's starting some conversations with intermediaries, working out what salaries would be. Is there an appetite from particular players to come into Arsenal? But a lot of the stories this early, at this stage of the season, very early building blocks to the summer transfer window, feel very reminiscent of the summer where Declan Rice came in, where there's a lot of credible early stories out there. The Zubimendi deal, listen, Arsenal were supposedly agreed everything in January. We'll see if that comes to fruition later on down the line. But this would be tremendous business. And what I thought was really interesting surrounding Newcastle was the words that David Ornstein said the other day. And he almost wasn't, I wouldn't use the word embarrassed. He didn't want the backlash from Newcastle fans. So he mentioned that Alexander Isak, regardless of the end of their season, is going to be big headline topics this summer. and that's because lots of clubs are going to try and sign him. I think Newcastle are moving into this realm, maybe with European qualification, potentially this weekend winning their first trophy in 60-odd years, the new plans for a beautiful state-of-the-art stadium. I think a lot of rival clubs are looking at Newcastle through the lens of now might be the last opportunity we get to take Newcastle's best talent. And I know that's going to upset some Newcastle fans and that they're going to take it as I'm being disrespectful. I don't think I am. I believe since the Saudis came in, since PIF took over your club, I felt that you would become a threat. You already are. But because you can't pump in unlimited funds because of FFP and PSR, there was still going to be a window of opportunity for talent to come in and for clubs that are bigger at the moment to purchase that talent away from you. And I feel that clubs look at this and think this may be the last chance saloon to take these players away from Newcastle because the revenue is growing, the stadium is coming. With more revenue means more money is going to be spent, more salary can be paid, and it will be much harder in future to take players away from Newcastle. At the same time, look, Arsenal are going to try, City are going to try, Liverpool are going to try this summer to take those players. Newcastle will fight tooth and nail to keep them. It's going to be an amazing transfer saga. I'm already strapped in. I'm already ready for it. It's going to be absolutely brilliant. But as ever, I want your thoughts and feelings on these stories. Arsenal looking to advance or have started to advance the Zubimendi and Bruno Guimarães deals. Chelsea, the here we go is in for Giovani Quenda. I want your thoughts, opinions, all in the comments section below. But remember to go and check out Stocks FC. If you like fantasy football and you also enjoy winning a little bit of money, this really tests your knowledge. This really lets people, this shows if people can put their money where their mouth is. And do you really back the players? Do you really have the stock in certain individuals? Or is it all a little bit of rabbit for online? Until next time, take care, goodbye, God bless, and I'll see you all again soon. Peace!